BTS reunited after J-Hope's concert? A rare moment that moved ARMY to tears. In an event that no one expected to occur during BTS's collective hiatus, all members of the group finally appeared together in person after a long separation due to military service and individual activities. The moment took place right after J-Hope's solo concert, an event that was initially expected to be a stage for one member only, but instead turned into a silent witness of the emotional reunion of these K-pop legends. Was this just a fleeting moment, or a sign of BTS's rebirth as a complete group? The fact that all 7 members of BTS were seen in the same space, celebrating the success of J-Hope's concert, triggered an emotional surge and speculation among the global ARMY. Several circulating photos and clips showed Jin, RM, Suga, Jimin, V, Jungkook, and J-Hope sharing laughter and warm hugs backstage, a sight that has barely been seen since the beginning of their military service. This event wasn't just about celebrating a personal achievement, but also about showing the world that the foundation of BTS remains intact despite distance, time, and individual pressures. What made this event even more dramatic was the timing and conditions of each member. Jin, who had just completed his military duty, Suga, who is still in training as an alternative social worker, and Jungkook and Jimin, who are currently actively serving, all appeared and paid tribute to J-Hope. This wasn't just a symbolic visit, but a meaningful form of solidarity that affirms BTS's bond is not a media narrative, but a reality that remains alive even in silence. Not only did they gather, but according to several internal sources confirmed by local media, the members also held a closed-door meeting after the concert. The content? No one knows for sure. However, the spread of rumors about a discussion on the group's future further strengthens the suspicion that J-Hope's concert served as a strategic meeting point, not just an emotional reunion. One unnamed staff member mentioned that the atmosphere in the room was very emotional, with laughter, tears, and intense silent moments. This moment certainly triggered an extraordinary response from ARMY. Hashtags #BTS Reunited and #OT7 forever dominated social media platforms within hours. Many felt this was the most sincere and joyful moment after a time filled with concern over the individual career paths of each member. We don't need a big stage to see them return. Just one room, one smile, and we know BTS is not over, wrote one fan in a viral post. Nevertheless, a crucial question remains. Is this a sign of the group's full return to activity? Or is this just a temporary moment of togetherness that will not be repeated anytime soon? So far, HYBE has not released an official statement regarding the group's plans following the event, but various signals, from member posts to their interactions that night, imply that something is being quietly prepared. If it's true that J-Hope's concert was used as an emotional and strategic accumulation point for BTS, then the public and the industry should brace for a major surprise soon. In the entertainment world filled with calculations, such togetherness rarely happens without deeper reasons. The fact that they chose to gather completely, with all the time and military permit constraints, is already a statement in itself. There's also speculation regarding the members' involvement in the creative process for BTS's future projects. Some eagle-eyed fans noted body language and whispers between RM and Suga, who seemed to be in a serious conversation on the side of the stage. Jimin and Jungkook, seen encouraging each other, also drew attention, especially given previous rumors of tension between them. All of this seems to affirm one message: they are preparing something bigger than just a reunion. In a situation where many groups fall apart after long breaks, BTS instead teaches us that distance is not an excuse for losing commitment. This reunion may not only be a personal victory for J-Hope, but also a collective statement that they still stand on the same path of struggle. And more than that, it's an emotional gift for ARMY who have been waiting in hope and prayer through these uncertain times. Now, all eyes are on HYBE and BTS. Will they turn this moment into the beginning of a new phase? Is this reunion just a brief act of solidarity, or the seed of a monumental chapter that will once again change the course of K-pop history? All eyes are now looking forward, but one thing was confirmed that night. BTS is not done yet, and they know how to make the world believe again. However, behind the sentimentality and euphoria stirred by BTS's togetherness after J-Hope's concert, the public must be reminded that not everything that appears should be accepted immediately as absolute truth. In an entertainment world increasingly driven by algorithms and the speed of virality, a more critical question must be raised. Is this BTS reunion moment truly real? Or is it merely part of a carefully crafted scenario to attract attention, stir emotion, and direct public opinion in a specific way? Some entertainment industry observers have long warned about the rising phenomenon of media orchestration, namely narrative manipulation by agencies or PR teams for specific purposes. When emotional moments such as hugs between BTS members or Jin's proud expression towards J-Hope spread widely through TikTok, YouTube, and Twitter, platforms highly prone to visual framing manipulation, are we truly seeing authentic events? Or merely fragments deliberately edited and packaged to form a collective opinion that drives narrative direction? It is important to convey that the information forming the basis of this report comes from various public sources that are freely accessible, yet do not always have verified clarity. Video clips, screenshots, and indirect statements from insiders are often used as primary sources by many media outlets, including some major ones that should uphold higher journalistic standards. So, as consumers of information, have we sharpened our sensitivity to distinguish between documentary content and manipulative content? One aspect that needs further scrutiny is how this narrative flows so systematically and emotionally. J-Hope's solo concert as the focal point, the surprising presence of all BTS members, and the emergence of internal rumors about the group's future discussions. Isn't this pattern very similar to the storytelling structure commonly used in promotional campaigns? If this was indeed a sincere moment that happened without planning, why is its documentation so neatly arranged and rapidly disseminated through certain channels? We are not saying the event was entirely fake, but as media, we feel responsible to invite readers, especially ARMY and emotionally involved audiences, not to be swept away by a singular narrative. Is it not possible that this reunion moment is a HYB strategy to maintain public loyalty and preserve the group's image during their hiatus? Or even, could this emotional atmosphere have been deliberately built to create momentum ahead of an unrevealed major project? We must also ask ourselves, why do narratives about BTS's togetherness always emerge at emotionally strategic times? For instance, when a member releases a solo project, or when there's public concern about distance between members. Is this a repeatedly occurring coincidence? Or is it part of a communication design aimed at sustaining fanbase engagement amid uncertainty? In addressing this, we must also evaluate how emotional content, especially involving popular idols like BTS, can potentially be used to divert attention from bigger issues. For example, when HYB is experiencing internal turmoil, or when there's pressure from investors, could the emergence of the reunion narrative be seen as a clever but manipulative issue diversion? Skepticism is not cynicism. It's a call to pause, analyze, and question before believing. As viewers, we have the right to enjoy emotional moments, but we also have the obligation to maintain a critical distance toward any information that directly touches our emotions, especially if that information has not been accompanied by official clarification from the concerned parties. In this case, BTS or HYB. So then, how should we respond to this news? Should we fully believe that the reunion was a pure moment born out of longing and friendship? Or should we instead view it as part of a strategic narrative with specific goals in the context of brand management and the entertainment industry? This is where the reader's role as a reflective actor becomes important. Don't just be a passive consumer who accepts every viral news blindly. Ask yourself, did I get this information from a credible and verified source? Who benefits from the spread of this information? Is it possible that this event was subtly fabricated to create a deliberate emotional effect? How much role does social media play in shaping my opinion on this event? Ultimately, we can only state that this report was compiled based on observations from several public contents on TikTok, Twitter, YouTube, and various other entertainment media. Some come from fan accounts, while others are from digital media that are not necessarily fully verified. Therefore, we invite readers to treat this article as material for reflection, not as a final conclusion. The BTS reunion after J-Hope's concert indeed stirred emotion and hope. But was what we witnessed reality? Or a narrative deliberately crafted to create momentum and sustain relevance? Ask those questions within yourself. Because only by thinking critically and skeptically can we become free viewers, not ones who are controlled.